Hello guys, this is PantsMy36, and today's video is going to be a little bit of a kind of year-end review channel update kind of thing, because usually I do a couple channel updates every once in a while. Haven't done one in a little while, because I was kind of busy with exams the past couple of weeks before Christmas, obviously, so I didn't have very many videos up. But I figured today would be a good idea, or a good time to look at basically the kits I've completed this year, some kits I got for Christmas, and also things that I'm currently working on, because there's a lot more kits that I'm currently working on than I've actually finished this year. Turns out. So first of all, let's look at what I got for Christmas. These are going to be projects I may be building soon. So got this RSO type it's just like the early RSO. Obviously it's a little tractor thing. I think these things are really cool. They're kind of adorable. They're like a little truck thing with treads, and I figured I might be able to enter this in the Kursk group build, which is starting in a couple days on January 1st. It's not the most complicated kit ever, but it looks really fun. Plenty of options for how I can do it, and I'm pretty sure this thing served well like through the Kursk period, so if I can find a photo of it at Kursk or something like that, then I'll definitely do it in the group build, because when I enter something, I don't really have anything else that really fits the time period. Everything else I have is earlier or later, so this will be a good entry for it, and I'm excited for that. Also got this one here, which is one that I've been looking for a while. It's the initial Stug 3G. As you guys know, I'm a big Stug fan. And I have many Stugs. I think I have about 10 or so that are currently built, and I have another like 4 or 5 in my stash, but including these ones here. But this is the initial G, so it's basically, well, it's a couple different. I mean, like the ventilator is moved to the roof instead of the back, and the superstructure is very flat there instead of being angled. That's about it. Also comes with winter ketting, which I'm going to probably use on a different kit, because I've got a cool photo of one of these with a whitewash that I want to do. But this is awesome. This is a good Dragon kit. It's one of the earlier Dragon kits. Not like super early, but this is back when they were like at their peak, before they kind of went downhill with DS tracks and throwing in random bits and having the instructions all messed up. But it's definitely a cool kit. And I'm probably going to build this one very soon, because I can build a Dragon Stug 3 kit in like, a couple hours at this point. I can build them without the instructions. And another Dragon Stug kit, sort of. It's the Storm Hobitsa, so it's the howitzer version. This is I built the version of this, which is the one with the 75mm gun, which is their, like, what's it, July 1944 production OSG. Basically, it's a really good kit. It's got the Zimmerit molded on, which is awesome. I had to do a ATAC Zimmerit set on the Stug I'm working on currently, and that was a little bit of a tough time. Probably spent more time on that than I did actually building the kit, but it looks really cool. I'll show you that later, but this is another kit that I really wanted, because I've got a cool photo of one of these with Ostketting on it, and I also want to see, I also have another photo, not the same photo, but it's also one that has like a Wesp, from like the artillery gun muzzle brake on it. It's kind of weird, but it's cool. So I like doing like little weird things in my tanks that I see in photos, unique features, because they're kind of interesting, so I'll try to do that. And also the Ostketting, because I also got Ostketting for it, which is awesome. These are the Kaizen ones. I have also Kaizen winter ketting. These are like workable. They have metal pins, plastic tracks. They should be really good. I know Adam Man likes these a lot, so I'm definitely gonna try these out on this Storm Hobitsa. And I also got this book here. This is it's like the Stug Bible. It's amazing. So this is something I really wanted, and it's probably boring for most people, but I was open to a random page, and we're like, okay, let's see, what type of roof do you want? And then it goes through, here's the old machine gun mounts on the roof, so he goes like this factory, from this month to this month, and these like whole numbers, and it's like insane. And it's just like pages upon pages of that. I'm really excited about this, as you can tell. Tracks, there's every single detail here you could ever want to know about Stugs, which is what I like. And there's a whole bunch in the middle here, which is just like photos. Awesome photos, and then there's a section at the back here where they go through some kind of CAD drawings of major variants. Over here as well, there's some G's. It's a really awesome book. This is a volume 2. There's also volume 1, which is more like the history and the development. I kind of also want that book, but this one is more important to me because I like all the looking at all the variants. That's what this one's all about, all the different modifications that were done over the lifespan of the vehicle. So, enough of the stuff I've got. Let's look at some things that I've finished this year. All 3 of them. So as far as I can tell, these are the only 3 kits that actually complete this year. I started tons of kits and they're still in progress basically, but I was looking back at all my videos and stuff and I realized that I've only actually finished these 3 kits, and this one was very early in the year. Obviously I've done the full hour-long weathering videos on both of these Stugs here. This is the Dragon Stug 3 F8 with Winterketten. Very, very, very good kit. This is the Dragon Stug 3, I think it's like a December 1943 production. It's wrong. It's very inaccurate. They tell you to put in like all these different features from different factories. I mean, it doesn't really matter to most people, but I like counting my own rivets. So that's why I got that book basically, but so I modified it to be like now it's in April 1943, so it's much earlier. And yeah, and then also this one here is the Flak Grilly, as I call it. Its name is really, really long. It has lots of different words in it that I can't pronounce because it's German, but basically it's the Grilly, or the Grilla 10.5 for 150, I think it is, howitzer, but it's got the anti-aircraft gun in it instead. So there's like 2 of these made basically. They're pretty cool, but I had fun with the whitewash on it actually because I used hairspray chipping. Then I also did some brush work and some oil work and lots of different things in there. Just kind of having fun, making it look nice and messy. I've got some videos on the weathering of the tracks and also on what else did I do? I think I did 2 videos this one. Oh, it was weathering the tracks and also weathering the spare tracks. I didn't do anything on the whitewash because I've got whitewash videos already and I'm going to have some more coming up. But this was definitely a fun project for me. And of course, as I said, I've got the full weathering videos of both these ones, which came out really well. I'm really happy with all 3 of these kits. I think they're all really nice works of mine. Probably my 3 most, well, the 3 tanks that I'm most happy with now. But yeah, next year I'm going to try to complete twice as many kits. I'm going to try to complete 6 kits. And hopefully I can keep up my my level of work, because these were all like, you build it and then I spend like 3 times as much time actually painting and weathering it because I'm kind of insane with how I layer things and stuff like that. But this one here is probably the work that I'm most proud of. This is the first standard weathering procedure video of Stug, which was a really, really fun video to make and lots of people seem to enjoy it. And the whitewash I think is really, really good. It's light, but it's definitely looks like it's been messily applied and faded and worn off. Really happy with that one. And then also, of course, this one here was one that I'm also did the video on. Had lots of fun with that one too. Did some similar techniques in the fact that I chipped the camouflage, the green camouflage colors, to expose the yellow underneath. And lots of pigments on there. And lots of oil work on these because I like my oil paints. So yeah, let's now look at all the kits that I currently am working on, and hopefully I'll explain to you what videos are in the works. So I've got these things that are kind of slowly being worked on in the background. You probably saw the video on this one that I put up actually like 2 weeks ago or something like that. So it's my build and painting video on that one. This is the Bronco Upgun Stug 3 C/D. It's actually a pretty decent kit. Had lots of fun working on that, and I've still got to whitewash this one, of course, do the rest of the weathering process on it. Right now it's basically just base painted and a little bit of hairspray chipping on that one. This one here, this is Trumpeter's BMP1. This was a project I was working on for a while, and then I kind of lost interest in it because I wasn't sure how to tackle the dust effects I wanted to do on it. It's basically like the entire top section is completely weathered, and I've got a video on that. I just haven't finished the video because, of course, I need to actually weather the bottom part of the tank and do like the dusting and stuff like that. And I'm not sure how to do dust because I haven't done it ever really, so I want to experiment on some vehicles first before I go back to this one. But eventually there'll probably be a video on this one. I might just release it as like just looking at the top where it's like I guess I did hairspray chipping and then some oils, and actually that's basically it. Just lots of oils on there, as you can see. This one came out really well. I just need to finish it basically. And I've got like a KV1 in the background here. I've been working on this one for forever. I was doing it originally as a group build with Basil James, but then I kind of just lost interest in the kit because the tracks in the kit are unusable. They're covered in pin marks, so I'm going to have to find some aftermarket tracks for it. And I've basically just done like an initial chipping layer on it right now. It's obviously a captured one. I've got a photo of this with like all the crosses on it and the numbers. Also lots of snow on it too, so I might add the snow effects, but we'll see how that goes. And then I've also got this is the Porsche Tiger. It's just primed basically in the colors it would be, so the tracks are primed, the hull's primed, the gun's primed. I've been working on this one for years now, and I've slowly been progressing more and more in it. And I want to do it as a prototype vehicle, so probably just gray, a little bit of chipping maybe, no markings, and just like maybe some mud and stuff like that. But we'll see how that goes. I have no idea if this is ever going to be finished, honestly. But it's I mean, if it were to be an accurate kit, I need like a different turret, because the turret was a little bit different for the prototypes. But I don't really care for this one. I only really care about my accuracy for Stugs, it seems, because they're the only ones that I really know lots about. Let's look at some more kits now. I also have this half track here. This is my entry into Adam Man's half track group build that ended like 6 months ago, basically. It's entirely built, it's primed up in the colors it would be primed in. And then I'm going to weather it eventually. When you see me do tanks like this, it's because I'm going to hairspray chip them. Same thing with the Porsche Tiger I showed earlier. I'm going to hairspray chip it to expose the red primer when I eventually do paint it up. I'm going to do a diorama with this one, with it abandoned, probably dumped over the side of the road, as you often see German tanks when they're abandoned. They've been basically pushed off the road by US tanks or whatever like that, because I'm not sure if they would use them to block the road when they ran out of fuel or whatever like that, but I guess they were in the way, so you often see them like, you know, pushed down like the side of the road. So I'm going to do a little diorama with a road and maybe like a kind of like a steep incline or something like that in a ditch, and this thing's going to be kind of like hanging on the side. Won't be a big diorama, maybe a couple of US troops in there if I can cook something up, but maybe just the tank, or the half track I guess, sitting there. And yeah, I do want to actually complete this one soon, so I will do a video on it. Oops, my gun's not really fixed on there yet. And I'm going to do a nice camouflage on this one, so I'll probably do a video on that one. And another project of mine here is this. This is a Stug 3. I don't even know what kit this is anymore, because I keep modifying them to the point of no longer recognizing what the kit originally was. But this is a another Dragon Stug 3 kit that I've added the ATAC Zimrit to, and also I've got a I think it's Panzer Art, yeah, Panzer Art resin mantlet here with the canvas cover, and also for the gun barrel as well. And as you can see, it's actually all primed up, and it is ready to paint, and I will paint it probably sometime this week. The tracks are Bronco tracks, that's why they're brown. It's a really nice kit. I have now made it, in case anybody's interested, I made it accurate to like a November 1943 production vehicle from the Miag factory. And it's got the side skirts on there too and everything. So probably, if I do an interesting camouflage, I'll probably do a video just on airbrushing camouflage patterns, because people seem to be interested in that kind of thing. I'm not the best at airbrushing, but I can often spray a half decent camouflage pattern. So we'll see what happens. I'll do a camouflage video on either this one or the half track I just showed you. But this one will be finished up soon, and I'll probably give you guys a weathering video on it, because obviously my standard weathering procedure video series is only Stugs, it seems, because it's all I ever finish at this point. But yeah, so these are all the kits that are basically like built up, and I've yeah, I guess they're built and they're waiting for more work on them. I've also got some kits that are still in progress, and I guess I'll show you guys those, because this video is just dragging on forever, because I've got tons of kits that need to be finished. Hopefully this year I can finish more of these kits. So I've got a Dragon Panzer 1 that's kind of mostly built. I mean, I'm doing a build video on it, so that's why it's kind of in subsections right now. So in the video I'm going to show putting these things all on. Right now it's mostly built. All I've got to do at this point is throw on the rest of the tools and I guess the tracks and a couple more details, honestly. But it's a pretty basic kit. This is it's in the box, so I can't really show you, but it's here, I can show you that. It's like the initial production Ausf A, but I've actually modified it, the front a little bit, to make it a standard production Ausf A Panzer 1, and it's going to be a North Africa vehicle. So I'm going to do some hairspray chipping on that one. It's been forever since I've done a DAC vehicle. I've only ever done one before, a long time ago, so I will give you guys a video on not only the building, but also on doing the DAC camouflage with hairspray chipping. I've also got this one here. I actually started this one up because I'm terrible about 2 days ago, because I don't have enough kits on the go. I started a new one. This is the Tamiya Stug 3 Aus B. A very good kit. As you can see, I've entirely built the thing in a couple hours, over 2 days. The wheels are mostly done. I've got to do about 4 more row wheels, and then I'm going to throw on some Dragon winter ketting, probably from the initial Stug I just showed you. And I've got an interesting photo. Actually, it's a photo that Adam Mann found for me of, I think it's a Stug D, honestly, but it's an early Stug like this one. It's got a nice winter whitewash on it. Got a missing section of fender there, which is kind of cool because the front bit's still on. And then it's got the winter kitten on it. And so I'm going to try to replicate that photo a little bit. So I put the wheels on it there on the sides. And honestly, this is a really good kit. I'll do probably a post-build review on this one because it'll be pretty brief and pretty simple. The kit is very, very good, but there's a couple of weird things about it that I thought were kind of not Tamiya-like. There's lots of pin marks and flash on it, which is kind of weird. But it is a good kit. Definitely faster to build than a Dragon Stug, but it's still pretty good. I'm not sure if I'll actually paint it up right away, of course, because you know my kits have to drag on for forever. Because I want to find a stowage set, because I know that Panzer not Panzer Art, sorry, Value Gear. They just released about a month ago a whole set of different stowage sets for like the rear, a whole bunch of different resin stowage sets. So I want to see if I can get one of those and put it on here, because my Stugs often don't have much stowage on them. Because I'm kind of bad at painting things that aren't just tanks. I can't paint tarps or boxes very well, so I want to get one of those. Get a little bit better at painting that kind of stuff there and get some good practice on this one. I haven't done any really detailing on this one. As you can see, I've just had like the antenna rod and that's about it. This is more of like a quick build. I just wanted to build something because everything I've been building seems to kind of drag on. So I want to just kind of like start something and build something and finish it, which is kind of satisfying. So this is just another thing that I've built this year and not finished yet. I will probably finish the build tomorrow or today, honestly, but eventually I'll have to finish that one and paint it up and stuff like that. And this will be the last thing we'll show in the video. I think I've got a couple more things I'm working on, honestly, but I can't find them. But these are all the things that I'm actually currently working on. This is the Takom T29E3. Huge, huge tank. I'll compare the Stug to it. The Stug's very, very small. But it's a massive, basically it's an inflated Pershing essentially, and I've done most of the work on it. I can probably finish it in about a day because all I gotta do now is the rest of the turret. The hull is entirely done, so basically just hatches on there. As you can see, I've worked on the cast texture a little bit, worked on the seams there, but honestly the kit is pretty decent. And I am not doing a build video on this one, but I will do a painting and weathering video or a series. So either an hour-long video where I go through everything, or a series of maybe like 10-minute long videos where we look at, let's say, like this video is going to be a pin wash, this video is going to be chipping, this video is going to be something else, and then we'll just look at individual steps and individual videos. So it depends what people want to see. As you can see, I've got the fender torn off in the rear there, and I've got like a damaged exhaust, which will go kind of hangs on there. Just adding a little bit of interest there because it seems like every tank I do has to have a missing section of fender on it somewhere. This kit actually is pretty decent. As you can see, I've done a little bit more work on the cast texture in the front there, but it's pretty good to start with. The only thing that was annoying is there's lots of wheels. The kit is very straightforward. It's not that complicated. You just basically build it. And most of the details are not exactly simplified, but they're kind of, you know, like you see this viewport's fixed closed. You can't really open that up. Most of the weld beams and these details are already kind of molded on. So really, you gotta only just put on the details. But the whole suspension element was just so long and tedious that it kind of got boring and a little bit demoralizing, having to do like 50 different row wheels and then 50 different suspension arms and 50 different shock absorbers, and just get repetitive, and that kind of gets a little bit annoying. So that's why this one's been dragging on for a while. But I will do a video, I hope, on doing some shell impacts, because this tank's gonna have some shell hits on the front. A couple of ricochets, because this thing has like about, I think it's 11 inches of armor on the turret front and about another 9 on the mantlet, so it's about 20 inches thick right in the front of the turret there total. So you're not going to get through that basically. So we're going to do some shell hits on it. Probably going to use some heated metal like screwdrivers and stuff just to like make some gashes in the plastic. I've done it before. It works if you're careful, so we'll do a video on that once I finish the turret basically. And then we'll have a post-build review, and then of course the weathering video or series depending on what I do. But yes, this one is actually going to be finished. Most of these kits I do want to finish. Like the Stug B is going to be finished, this one's definitely going to be finished, the half track's going to be finished. Just some of them I showed you earlier, like the KV1, the Porsche Tiger, those have been dragging on for forever, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to finish them, honestly. But yeah, as you can see, lots of stuff was started this year, not much was finished. Fairly typical for a modeler, I guess, but at least I've done some good work, and I've been happy with how it's come out, and I've definitely been progressing and getting better with my weathering, which is basically what I enjoy most. Building for me is kind of fun, painting is pretty painful, because I'm just not that skilled at it. And then weathering is what I enjoy the most, so that's why most of my videos are on weathering. And hopefully I can finish more of these kits so I can actually do some weathering this year. Yeah, so this video's probably been really long. Most people are probably not watching anymore. That's fine. Usually happens, I guess, because these videos drag on for hours, it seems sometimes, because I just talk for forever. Yeah, so that's about it for this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you weren't bored too much with my rambling about what I've done, because it's not been much, but... and I know some people like to watch my channel updates for some reason, because they just like to hear me talk about stuff, see my works in progress, and kind of get an idea about what's going to be coming soon. Because there are going to be videos coming on all these things once I finish them, as usual, but of course I need to finish more stuff to actually get to that point. So as always, thanks for watching very much, and hope you enjoyed the video. Big thanks to the Patrons. We have Ricky from Ryan's Painting, John Butler, Ian Sistrick, Sam Murphy, Richard Ward, Johnny Foxtrot, and Rudolph Kiros, who all support me on Patreon, and also Dr. EO, who supports me through PayPal. You guys are all awesome. That really helps me buying more kits to start and not finish, it seems. But yes, this year, as I said earlier, my goal is going to be to finish at least 6 kits, which is twice as many as this year. And hopefully I will start not as many kits, but I'm looking over here and I've got Tiger 1 I need to build. Got that RSO I need to build. I also want to build that initial Stug. Yeah, it's going to be a long year. I've got quite a lot of kits that I want to build, but I need to finish stuff first. So we'll see how that goes. I'm rambling again, aren't I? Yeah. We'll cut it here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next one. Goodbye.